And this is my black long sleeve V-neck.
That I probably bought her at, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not vintage.
No.
It's just warm and comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I'm up here doing cleaning and straightening up. But you're here because you want to hear about decluttering, which seems to be the big topic. And we'll show you in a minute, because we got 12,000 square feet. So we're really good at decluttering and displaying. But this is about your life. So we go to people's homes, and hopefully it's always the kids that are there, because the parents have passed away or are moving or going into assisted living and downsizing. And it's just incredible how much stuff. This is Stella. She's our shelter dog. How much stuff people accumulate through, hopefully 95 years of their life. And we have an estate sale, which is one option to declutter, depending on your situation. We have an estate sale, and we sell everything that's in the home. But while we're there, we get a real sense and a real view of the stuff that people have. I mean, why, unless, I can understand someone in their 30s and 40s and 50s, because we entertain, and then you have all kinds of different table linens and tablecloths, but we open drawers and buffets.
Oh, yeah, and they're full. It's like one buffet, and there's 6 drawers, and in each drawer it's full of your tablecloths and your linens and your napkins and that's it.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, how many napkins and how many tablecloths?
Exactly.
And how many
why do you need all those? I mean, they're beautiful and they're great quality, but guaranteed these things had not been used, and many were unused in their original plastic.
And we're so fantastic, we can usually tell how long ago they've been used.
Yeah, some have stains, some don't have stains. Nobody really sends them to the dry cleaners anymore unless you live a fancy-wancy life. So most of them are washed and wrinkled. So get rid of some of your linens, people. You don't need them. I mean, the theme is always, if you haven't worn it or used it for a couple of years, you probably won't. Now, what I do... and what I find is helpful for me, and then we have people, before I go there, we have people, and then they say, well, this, where clothing is, this is size 14, and I want to lose weight, so, I don't want to throw my size 12s away because I'm going to lose weight, and, some people say they go up and they go down, so they need, 2 sizes. Okay, you don't need 7 sizes. So somewhere along the line...
That's true, because, I'm guilty of it. The only thing that I don't declutter is my closet. And I'm terrible at going into my closet because I look at the piece and I go, oh, well, there might be that one occasion where I might need that one shirt that I haven't worn in 5 years, but, if I donate it, then I'm going to need it in a week because someone's going to have a party, and I'm going to need that shirt. So I'm guilty of it in my closet, so I get it. But in the rest of my life, I'm definitely not.
So one way to declutter is to go through your closet and start, if you can't, If you can't get rid of it, put it in a bin.
Yeah. Put it in, buy those plastic things, or come to our estate sales and buy those plastic things that you suck the air out of, and they go like that, and then they're all small, and then they're space savers, and then you can just tuck them under your bed or something, and then just label them.
And put them in that buffet that's now clear, because you took all those linens out and you sucked the air out of them.
And then all your linens that were in 6 drawers will now be in 1.
It will be in 1. So, at least do that. And then with your clothes, you go through them, and what I do is I put them in bins. And at least I get them out of the closet so that I can wear what I have, because you see, I always end up wearing my little black jersey.
And I do the same thing. I wear the same 10 things and try not to.
Yeah, so it's we fall into a rut when unless...
Or a pattern, if you don't want to call it a rut. A pattern.
And so that's one tip, and then you start slowly. So you put it in the bin, and you label the bin, and you put the bin somewhere, and then at a couple of years, if you look at the bin,
and you go, holy crap, I didn't even realize I had the bin.
Right, and I don't need the bin, because for the last 2 or 5 years, I haven't looked in that bin. So donate it, get rid of it, let some people who really want it or need it or love it have it, because trust me, your kids aren't going to do anything with it. And the china and all the tchotchkes that you're keeping, kids don't want them.
Sorry.
That's the new thing. We've come to an age where the kids aren't buying anything that us seniors have. Well, that's not true.
We don't buy a majority of it. We buy some of it.
Not the fancy stuff. Not the fancy stuff.
Not usually. And if we do,
the pretty linens don't get. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But if we do, we usually want it real inexpensive.
Right. And the pretty linens don't get sold. The white,
that would be Taffy the Beagle.
The white linens don't get sold. Some of the old vintage pattern kitchen.
I don't think we have any right now.
Yeah. Stuff gets sold. That they're into.
Okay, but declutter it.
Well, I also want them to know a lot of people don't declutter because they think that they're leaving all this wonderful stuff to their kids, and they're not. Because the kids are going to call me or you and say, "Hey, my mom passed away, and I loved her very much, but I got this house full of stuff, and I don't want it."
That is true.
So you might as well help them along, and it makes you feel better. I mean, you're surrounded, but and in my house, everybody always says to me, "Oh my God, your house! Oh my God, your house!" And I've been very good about keeping stuff. And when I was raising Jessica, and when I bought and sold, and I would buy, garages and storage units, but they never came into the house. That's a trap. And I have a trading floor with myself, and there's no reason you can't do that. If you fall in love with something else has to go.
So that would be our first rule of decluttering?
Yes. Second.
What's our first?
Get it in bags.
Oh, okay. So bag it, which in the space savers, or like my mom said, trade with yourself. So one thing comes in, one thing goes out.
Right.
Number 2.
Yeah, and that's what I do.
I don't buy anything. And don't have anything on my counters. And same thing, people must say, "Oh my gosh, your house must be full." And I'm like, no, I'm a minimalist. I have one china cabinet with a bunch of really cute stuff. And other than that, something's on the counter, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why is it sitting there? Make it go away." I have a little OCD, so lucky for me, I don't have to declutter.
And the most important part is that what she's finding out now, really later in life, is that it's fun. And then you can go and you can buy something that's wonderful, but find a spot for it and enjoy it. We find things in drawers, hidden, not only linens, but china and figurines and pieces of crystal, and if it's in a drawer, you don't love it. Or you don't have room for it. Yeah, and it's not for that special holiday, because then it would be a holiday thing. I mean, you have 1 or 2 special pieces for a holiday, I get it, but we're talking drawers full.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, since you brought that up. Not really decluttering, but people always come into and they were like, "Yeah, I was always saving my good china," and I get it. Back in the day, you had one really nice china set that was $1,000,
and a Sunday coat,
that you only used because to replace that Sunday coat was really expensive, and to replace your china set was really expensive. But nowadays, like the china sets that we have, don't get me wrong, they're still beautiful, and some of them. I'm not saying no china set is worth money, but generally speaking, even your nicer china sets that were worth a lot of money aren't worth as much. So use your china set and let people eat on it.
Enjoy what you have.
Because if a plate
Rule
breaks,
number 1.
right? Enjoy what you have.
Enjoy what you have.
If you break a plate, it's not going to cost you $1,000. There's always an exception to replace that plate, so it's okay. So yeah, use it, enjoy it, let people go, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, look at your beautiful...
Use your good china, use your good
Mm.
crystal, and, before life is over, man, it's like, it's like right behind you. Woo!
Yeah, we have it everywhere, so if you do break one, you can come replace it, because we probably have some. But yeah, use it and enjoy it, and it's, when I go to someone's house, and they are using, like, fine china, and they have out, like, pretty goblets, whether they're crystal or just pretty glass or etched or whatever, I'm always like, oh... Everything tastes better.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
and it's so pretty to look at. It's just so
fun. It's like, oh, look at you made your table so pretty, and oh, it's so lovely, and it just sort of makes everything more enjoyable.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are eating off of paper plates and paper cups nowadays, and I think that's great. But have a day or two where you bring out your good stuff. That's what you bought it for, and it's not just for Thanksgiving; it's for you. So use what you have, and then if you're not using it, just like with the clothes and everything else, you're not loving it. And if you're not loving it, get rid of it.
Right.
Get rid of it. It's decluttering. And get some money for it. Go to people like us and say, here's a bin full of stuff. Get me some money. And, even if it's only $25 or $35, that's movies, popcorn, or an opportunity to buy something else that you're actually going to use.
Yep.
So, that's our decluttering for the day.
So rule number 1 is enjoy it. Rule number 2 is zip it up in a space saver. And rule number 3 was what? Oh, if you buy something, you have to get rid of something.
Yeah. And here's my story that I started. When I first started, I started in this business because I loved costume jewelry, and that's a whole other story. But I love costume jewelry, and I used to buy it when years ago, 25, 30 years ago, people would sell suitcases full for whatever, and that's how I started. But I was feeding Jessica and I with what I sold. So I couldn't keep a lot of it because I learned that keeping it means that, we have bread instead of like maybe a hot dog.
Oh, and I do like a hot dog.
So that's how I started this trading floor. So I started a trading floor with my costume jewelry, and I had this little curio over my desk, and if I fell in love with a piece that came in, a piece in that curio would have to go out. So that's how I kept my keeping stuff, because it was food. I mean, that one piece of jewelry was food in her mouth, and she couldn't eat the rhinestones, so I had to sell it. So start thinking, what you have, and if you're not enjoying it, you could probably end up taking a cruise with the money that you make off of it. So anyway, that's the story. That's me in my black little jersey, and cute. That's Jessica in her
vintage sweater, and our 2 dogs have finally calmed down. Yes, now that we're done.
And if you want, send us some questions as to what we can help advise you to do to declutter and minimize your mess.
That's right. And what are our 3 rules for the day?
Use it because you love it. Put it in those shrink bags.
Yep.
And if you can't get rid of it, at least shrink it. And
you get something new. You gotta get rid of something.
Trade it. Trade with yourself. Make it a rule. Trade with yourself, and that'll keep your buying down, all your impulses down.
So those were our 3.
And the best rule to decluttering is don't watch the shows, the home shopping networks, because the people on there are so good.
I watch them and I'm like,
and
that's
I
really
end
cute.
up they're
that's
so
really cute.
Yeah, they're so good that I get sucked in and I buy stuff that I have no need for. So that's one way to declutter is, don't watch those shoes.
Yeah, shows. Yeah, we go into homes.
Because you'll end up with shoes.
And they've got closets full, and we can tell. We're like,
you want to end up with shoes.
Look, from the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, and I've done homes like that. I've walked in, and there's just Huh?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I mean, closet's full.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, and it's all new in the box or new in the whatever.